Beat science. Beat science.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to ESEA Advanced League Season 51. And we have the round 7 between CCG Esports versus Wet Goons. And from the casting desk, it's me, Zane, along with Inflict. Inflict, how was your week so far?
It has been good, but I'm more so excited about how it's going to turn out for CCG because unfortunately, for the time being, their stats do not look good. They are standing with only 2 wins and 4 losses, and their last win came off of a forfeit, but of course, we'll take it. The next matchup, as you said, we are going up against Wanted Goons, who have a better scoreline comparatively. They have 4 wins on board already with three losses. They do favor playing Nuke quite a lot, but they have some experience on Anubis, which is going to be the map that we are going to be heading on to today as well. But CCG, although that is practically the only map that they have played so far in this league, in the Faceit League, but it hasn't exactly worked out for them that great.
Yeah. They have played one more map that you've missed the other day. It was Nuke, and they were doing pretty well on Nuke on the attacker side. But on the defense side, they flunked a lot, and they have lost a very close combat game. If I could recall correctly, it was something like 10-13, 11-13 scoreline. But they were very close. But then again, it didn't go out in our favor. But I am hoping the consistency we have in Anubis will get us something better today, as this is the Anubis game that I'm feeling like, okay, yeah, this has to be it, because we're up against a team that is positive in terms of scoreline, and as you mentioned, and I feel like after all that's happened in Anubis, this has gotta be they have gotta be prepared coming into this particular game today.
I certainly hope so. They have had quite a decent amount of practice on the map and a good nade to kick things off here in the pistol round as they look to execute onto the B side. They've already lost Fearless Beetle, and now they're getting pinched in as all of the players push in through cave. They get one trade, but still the man advantage lies with the Goons as they get 2 more frags, and Freaky gonna shut it down with a nice little headshot onto Treehin.
A very nice little headshot and a very fast paced round from Wanted Goons here. You did not expect that to coming in, and CCG will lose the first pistol round. Just a quick rush that didn't really work out in their favor. They do start on the terrorist side, so they have to be much better than that. As we have seen them previously, they have done well in the terrorist side, but not the best start here, I would say, as now we see a stack going towards that A side where nobody is actually holding in. If they can actually get on top of the, oh, the
Oh.
nade, yeah, that's nasty. That's absolutely nasty.
It certainly is, and it's going to make things all the more easier for these M4s that are already alongside that MP9 in the hands of Little Beer as well. They found one, but unfortunately, the second one falls. So Goons, they've lost a couple of players, but the reinforcements have arrived. They lose 3 in the process, but they still manage to run away with the round. CCG not going to be particularly disappointed with that round. They were able to deal a good amount of economical damage as they were able to take away 3 weapons away from Goons.
Yeah, 3 weapons away from Goons this time around, but it's still, it's still not gonna be that much of an effect, because I mean, yeah, sure. Now they have a full buy coming in from the side of terrorists, and if they can utilize those buys and shut them down in this specific round, then that is going to hurt them economically, because CTO, that's another nice nades as well. I think a lot of the players have practiced their nadings in this map, and the nades are completely connecting and gonna deal quite a bit of damage to Little Bear over there, all the way to the A side. But I think they're gonna try and take control of the mid area this time around. Gonna try to find someone in this tunnel. Gonna shoot through the smoke. Freaky finds Freehand here, and that is going to be huge coming in. And they find yet another one, Fearless Beetle, trying to penetrate the connector side, but it's not gonna be given away that easily. And now with that, two members down already, it's gonna be hard, but it's not that impossible to do so. A 3v5 situation, but in the favor of Wanted Goons here. Frizzy looking to play a little bit aggressive here, gonna do a pop flash for his teammate, gonna try to take and peek, and that is the moment that CCG has been waiting for as they secure the double kill onto the connector side, knowing that now B side is completely vulnerable if they wanted to enter the site. But look at this cheeky play coming in, Bagel coming in from behind, gonna secure the bomb, and now it is going to be tough as the bomb is inside the smoke with guarded by two players on the other side. Gonna try and take this bomb. Gonna receive a lot of damage, and that is a sacrifice that you completely didn't want to make that play. A little beer. Look at how sneaky he is. Hiding inside the smoke. They have vision, but it is too late for them to react. He does not know there's one more behind him, and he is gonna be found out as he was way too focused on the other player who was inside the site. And with that, C team, despite getting that advantage and losing that advantage, this is how you bounce back again back into the game, and you gotta give it out to them. Inflict.
You certainly do. CCG, not a great start. They lost a couple of isolated battles. They retaliate by finding those two kills over towards Connector. That practically cleared out the whole side, but they were somewhat hesitant as they who did not have sufficient information about where the rest of the players were. Hence, they decided to be vigilant about it. Unfortunately, it allowed just enough time for the flank to have come through from middle. Bagel fell down and got that frag, which got the bomb down, and that practically was the final nail in the coffin for that one. CCG now not having a proper buy in this one. They're working with pistols yet again, and one SMG in hand alongside about four flashes that they're gonna try and execute onto the A site. Where they have found an opening from middle that they're gonna lead the charge with, but they're gonna be walking straight into those M4s alongside that a single AK in the hands of Little Beer. They have traded those frags out, so they have gained control on the side, but is it going to be sufficient is going to be the real question.
It is going to be indeed the real question as the bomb is planted right now for the first time. CCG, they look like they have the advantage, but it's suddenly going to be traded out to a one versus one situation where, yes, Treehan is alive and he is doing well, but he does not have any information where the last person might be.
Oh,
Had a slight idea as he comes in straight and gets the trade. Ay, ay, ay. And now it is very, 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 very looking bad for CCG as they have lost 4 rounds in a row in the first half of the game.
Icarus gave them a real good shot, CCG, in that save round as well, but unfortunately they just could not close things out. It got real close, but one thing that you have to commend CCG for right now is that even though they've lost 4 rounds in a row, they've kept the economy in check. You can see there are absolutely no reserves built up for Wanted Goons right now. They're having to invest pretty much everything that they have in the bank every single round at this point. They're even having to compromise a little bit. You can see they only have two diffuse kits to work with. One of the player doesn't have a helmet online as well. That's going to be Little Beer, although he has had a good amount of kills. I believe that he's sitting on 3 frags right now, so not a lot, but they've been doing their job. CCG though, they're struggling. They are getting close to winning quite a few of these rounds out, especially the last two
Oh,
where they've had a weapon, and sometimes even and in the last one where they didn't. But it seems like, oh, Icarus. Sorry, so I'm not sure who's, but somebody has been DC'd, so it seems like it may take a little bit for them to reconnect. But CCG, they honestly they've shown improvements. They're getting their mid rounding a lot better. Their adjustments are on point right now, but they really need to be able to close rounds out because otherwise
yeah.
this lead might just turn dangerous.
Yep. Definitely, definitely, because you see that they've been close. One of the biggest reasons why they have such a great economy and the enemies don't is we know how CS:GO works. The CT side is much more economically unstable compared to the T side, and on the T side, even though they're losing rounds, they're not getting that extra bonus gold that they're supposed to get by winning the rounds. But they're killing everyone. They're trading those kills. Unlike previously, which we haven't seen from the side of CCG, that they would lose rounds while enemies still have 4 members alive, enemies still have 3 members alive. But this time around, they are actually getting those kills. They're actually getting those kills. They're making it very close. They just need to know how to close this rounds out. They just need to put the cherry on top and make it perfect. As we saw even in the previous round, it was a 1 versus 1 situation. Before that round, it was a 2 players alive. It was and then even before that round, it was still something similar. We saw only 3 members alive from the side of CT. So wanted goons, they are winning the rounds, but I would say CCG are putting up a really good fight. They just need to learn how to play with those upper plan situation, play a bit more informatically, and maybe get a better trade when it comes to the player trades. Instead of giving like 2 for 1, they should go for 1 for 1 trades, and perhaps sooner enough they'll be able to close out the game.
Well, but before they can, CCG, they need to put up their first round. They're quite a journey away before they can conclude this and win. Because right now, the momentum, the confidence, certainly in favor of wanted goons, but maybe not in this round. Trehan draws first blood, Bagel falls, opens up the whole of middle, and now they can crack down over towards the A side. Two players are present to defend it, and seems like wanted goons, they want to reclaim middle here as well. Little Bear getting a little bit aggressive over towards A main. Spots a player out and backs off to safety. CCG, they're once again gonna take their time with this one, do their due diligence, but now that Trehan and Icarus have found a frag, they might want to move. And there you go, the bomb's already making its way over towards the B side. This time around, they're gonna leave, CCG are gonna leave one player behind to investigate and make sure they do not get stabbed in the back like they did last time around. And that's gonna be the bomb down with little to no money remaining in the reserves of Wanted Goons. It likely is going to be a save for them, and hence the first round on board for CCG.
Very well played around for CCG. A very much needed tactical timeout that they've called over there. Also, whatever issue happened with the lobby actually gave them a little bit more time to communicate and think it through. Like, guys, what are we doing wrong? We're very close, but what will be the pin in the coffin? And it looks like the pin in the coffin was found as Icarus was trying to find Freaky over there. We'll get the information onto Op sitting around all the way over towards the tunnel, but I don't think anybody is interested to going in there, as they both have an op on their own hands, Trehan with the op and Freaky with the op. I think they're gonna try to find a kill onto each other, perhaps, which will help opening the sides. But they certainly know if an op is on the CT side, then that one of the places on the map is gonna get completely shut down unless you decide to smoke that place and try to rush the op and get him down. That will be a completely different case. But I think this time around he's gonna try an op in the mid area, which he has tried in the previous round as well, and very aggressive rush coming in from them. Freak. He will not be connecting onto anybody as they all are pushing towards the boat, towards the main into the A side. But if anybody decides to go towards that middle, it is going to be heavily punished in the top mid area, as that's where the op is holding on his scope at.
CCG seems like they're well committed to the A side, but they're still taking their time with this one as the nades start to roll out. And the rest of the players off. What goons are got off. They're actually going to disrespect that utility. They push straight in, but Icarus, who retaliates with 2 frags. Freehand over towards middle continues to prove to be a problem as he takes one down to that op. And now CCG once again have taken over the side, and it seems like Wanted Goons are already running with their tails in between their legs, and they have given this one up. That's the second round on board. Subski is probably gonna try and deal some damage, maybe get some exit frags here, but the round, that's already CCG's.
Yep, it is already CCG's another very well played round from CCG. Perfect execution onto the A side, knowing that they have an op on the hand, but this op is getting very, very cheeky as he's holding behind, trying to get some exit frags from subs. He does have an SMG on his hand, so dying with an SMG will not be a very big loss for him. But if he can take out the op from the terrorist side, it is going to be huge. Treehan being very cautious, but they're actually going to stick around in the mains. He's actually gonna peek out Karas. He's gonna give away one AK, but Treehan is gonna be there to deny it. Very well played by CCG. And now CT side, he, I mean, subs K. What's his name called? Subs KJ1, K1, subs K1. Okay, subs K1 or yellow on the terrorist side. He didn't die in that round, and he lost the only SMG he had. Thinking maybe, yeah, I'd be able to pick up an AK, and that was denied off of him as well as he died over there, which means he's not gonna get any gold in this round, and it looks very bad for counter terrorist side. They just don't have any more gold on their reserve, and which means they're not gonna be able to buy this round, and they're not gonna be going for a full buy next round as well if they don't win this round.
And the probabilities of them winning this one isn't exactly in their favor right now either. Hence
Yeah.
why we see a four-stack over towards the A side. They might decide to just push that one out. If they do so, they likely will actually find a kill onto Hype King perhaps and maybe retrieve that AK. But Hype King, he's sensing some tension and hence he's gonna back off there and play that rather safely. As finally the players of Wanted Goons start to show their face. Eventually though, they are gonna have a great session with Hype King, and he's gotten two quite comfortably, looking for the third. Eventually will get taken away, but he has done a decent amount of damage. That's
Ooh.
gonna leave an AK and an AWP online, and now that Freaky has found a frag, this could turn somewhat dangerous. Bagel, he falls. Kraken, he's anticipating somebody else to be there as well, but he will not predict Freaky to be ready to take that fight, and suddenly a round that should have been CCG's from the beginning has turned into a one versus two, not in their favor, and Freaky will shut it down with a 3K on that op.
I would say a huge round for the side of Wanted Goons here, and solely because CCG kind of made a mistake. It's very obvious. They had a perfect room read. Yeah, the opponent doesn't have enough economy, so they're probably gonna be going with the save. And A site is one of the best sites to hold when you're ecoing, especially when you want to stack. And A main was the perfect choice. CCG had that good read on that, and so they decided to go on B. Hype King stayed behind. He found two, but he had sound. He had information on a lot of people, and knowing that CCG should have easily executed on the B side, which they did not because they knew one of the guys, one of the hero plays might be staying behind. They should have used the utilities. They should have rushed in. They should have gotten the plant off. But they took their sweet time, and that led Wanted Goons gave them enough time to stab them in the back. And one of the players, I'm not sure who, died in the connector in the back. And that kind of gave away a lot of kills. Hype King died, making it four versus five, and then they found the trade on the op in the B side, 4 versus 4, and then that one person who died in the back got backstabbed because Wanted Kun was really fast and CCG was too slow. That one kill mattered a lot, and now Treehan, he's gonna be taken out at the very beginning of the round once again by this freaky op.
Very big dominated. Sound one looking for more. Quite proactive right now on the side. Eventually, though, will meet its demise by the hands of Kraken. That's a 4 versus 4 now. Side completely taken over, but Vaunted Goons, they're not going to let them plant with ease. Fearless Beetle, he's still trying to hold on, still trying to keep the players away, and has successfully put one to bed. But now with the bomb down, and Kraken isolated away from the rest of his team, he's going to try to deal some damage through the smoke. Unfortunately, both of the players are very far away from each other, so they can be quite easily picked off one by one right now, and that's exactly what Wanted Goons are looking to do. They might just waste just a little bit of time. Had quite a lot of smokes to dispense there as well. That's Kraken fallen. The pistol, unfortunately for Fearless Beetle, will not connect, and Frizzy, that could not have been an easier kill for him to finish off, and that's a 6-2 scoreline already, and we still have 4 more rounds remaining in the first half.
Yeah, that things now are going bad. Are going bad. CCG had a really good execution. in the B side, they took out the op. They lost one in the trade, but it was still looking very very good. They had a good after plan situation, as you mentioned. They've lost two members through the smoke. There were good utility usage coming in from the wanted goon side. After that, that in that 2 versus 4 situation, when they were completely split up, even if one person died, the other wouldn't be there to help him out, to trade him out, and that's exactly what happened. And even though in the end it looked like CCG had the grip of the round, but they did not know where the bomb was because of all those smoke shenanigans, and that pistol of Fearless Beetle was not able to find the one defusing the bomb and wasn't enough to buy the round. This time around, CCG looking to play on A side, a pretty aggressive rush coming in, and they will find one to begin the round with, but they don't have any
Oh,
information of who might be on heaven. Maybe the utility will connect onto them. Gonna get an early plant there, still 4 versus 5. And CCG, they gotta just hold a perfect after plan situation. The Heaven guy is still sitting out there. Nobody has found him. Kraken S will be taken out through the smoke and making it 4 versus 4.
looking for more, deals a little bit of damage. It's not going to be him that finishes off a kill, but Frizzy certainly will. Beetle just one shot will mean eventually have his name written in the death note, and so will the rest of his team. And really, the easiest retake that you could have asked for, losing only one in the process. Little Beer, he held down that angle, had given. Played that smoke to absolute perfection. The timing worked out in their favor. CCG, they put the smoke down towards heaven. Little Beer just peeked out just before it popped, got a kill, and hid himself within that smoke as well, using CCG's own utility to his own advantage and to try and hold down some area off the site while the reinforcements had arrived. Did not play aggressively, did not show any early resistance. It seems like it was their game plan from the beginning to just go for a retake altogether, and that's exactly what they did. It was much more a coordinated push. They had a lot of utility to work with, and that's pretty much what they have been doing. They don't like showing early resistance as much, but they like to go for those collective retakes. They have that extra utility in their back pockets just in case if the site is ever given up, and they work with that perfectly.
Definitely, as we head on to this 10th round, where things are looking kind of bad in the favor of CCG, because as I said, the instability of economical standpoint on the counter-terrorist side is no longer gonna be a weapon that CCG can use, because they've won way too many rounds, and their economical position right now from the side of counter terrorists looks really really good. Even if they lose 1 or 2 rounds, I think they're still going to be okay with going with some buys at least on their favor. As CCG, they're looking towards a side, and I like this positioning. They took mid control, but that one backstab that is coming from the CT side is going to be very very dangerous, but not if they already penetrate the side, which they are going to be doing now. It's a 4 versus 3 situation, so the person who was on the back is no longer, that positioning from him is no longer going to be very very vital, as they're looking towards that one person in tunnel. Might not be able to find, as they have smoked up quite the site here. The after plan situation from the CCG side is not the best, but they are holding on to every single corner that they possibly can. But the mains are opened up. Freaky finds another kill, making it a 2 versus 2. The equalizer is there, but Trehen, he knows where he is right now, and knowing that that's a guy on the op, maybe they can exploit it, maybe they can get a rush onto him, and the op, last person alive, and they are exactly doing the same thing. Kraken is going to be able to find double, last one with the Glock there, just to wrap up the round. When CCG was falling out, Kraken is the person who lends out their hand and keeps CCG alive, and I would still say a better chances of CCG coming back into this game after that round being secure in their favor.
Certainly are, but the, still they're not quite huge. CCG, most of all three of their actually round wins have come off of early successes where they've been able to find a couple of frags at the very least and then taken side control. Wherever they've only gotten one kill and then taken side control, it hasn't generally worked out for them. This time around, it seems like they might be able to replicate that same performance. They have two kills to their name, lost one only in the process. Frizzy trying to get that trade, unfortunately won't be allowed to do so, but with Wanted Goons having no money in the reserves, the following round, which is going to be the last one of the half, might just look very good for CCG if they're able to close this one out. And right now, they want to head over towards the B side. For the time being, Frizzy is all by himself right now, but there is Bagel rotating over, and there might be a very long pinch being set up by Freaky. Timing is going to be everything on there, though.
Yep. And a lot of smokes once again into the B side, making it completely invincible to anybody who's walking around in there. Even a normal person would get lost in there. But despite that, this flank from Freaky can be huge as he gives away Hype King at the very bad time. He gives away his sound of after jumping, and Freaky he's gonna be able to find two, a very clutch flank coming in from them, but the smoke kills are gonna be huge as one person alive, and Icarus is gonna put the pin on the coffin on to Frizzy as he takes away the fourth round. And CCG, if they're able to win the last round, which does look a lot in their favor, considering that Wanted Goons, they do not have that economy to buy in that last round. As I was saying, after winning a lot of rounds, yeah, they do get a buy on the previous round, but not on this last round. They do get SMGs though if they want to, but that's all they gotta work with. But then again, you have to remember that one round where CT where Wanted Goons only had four pistols and one op, they were able to secure that round in their favor. So them having SMGs, which is better than a bunch of pistols, I would say that they still do have a chance to go to the second half with the score line of 8-4. But I think CCG they're not gonna let that happen. The way that they're playing right now, they're getting a grip onto this game, and I'm hoping that they get a 7-5 on the second half, even though it's not the best score line to have in the terrorist side, but it is something that I would take considering how this game started out one sided. CCG has made their way to at least get something out from that one sided first half.
It was a very one-sided affair to begin with, but it's a nice little comeback that they've been able to mount. Only likely going to be a two-round deficit by the end. By the time we enter the second half, but we're gonna have to wait before we can confirm that. Of course, this is the last round yet to be played out. 5 versus 5. Although the Arsenal not that great for Wanted Goons, they have made it work before that as well. Little Beer, he's gotten one, but CCG are not slowing down their gas cylinders anytime soon. The kills continue to fall their way, and suddenly, in the blink of an eye, it's all come down to Freaky, who's up against Stream. Nick that too, actually, as the deagle shot connects, and he knows exactly where Icarus is, but he may be unaware about Hyping's positioning. A nice double peek to come out, and eventually the trade comes through for CCG as well, and hence a 7-5 scoreline. A nice comeback mounted after all, after going down 4-0 nonetheless.
It is a very good comeback indeed for CCG. But now the question remains is on the CT side, are they able to secure rounds? Because now as we all know, CS:GO in itself is a bit terrorist sided game because of the how the economy works. It's not the same guns that you get. Everything is quite expensive on the CT side, and managing that economy is quite hard on the CT side as well, because on the T side, every time you plant the bomb, you get an extra bit of gold, and every time you get killed. So Tree Hand, look at that beauty, amazing pop flash support from Fearless Beetle there to get Tree Hand a triple kill here. A Kraken who just minded the rush, like, hey, a lot of people has been down. I'm just gonna go down. Did not check the corner, will fall down, but that is a very well start from CCG, and now I think the comeback that we were hoping for is quite there from the CCG side, but they gotta be still careful because 2v4 might seem like they have the advantage, but it is just two kills away, just two headshots away from equalizing that scoreline. And after that, it all goes dark. We know that we don't want to go down on that path. Bagel here looking towards the connector, trying to open up the B side, but also being very cautious of his backside. Does have a lot of time to work with. Icarus will find one. That's one information that he knows. Bagel entering the B side does hear a lot of sounds on the B side, does know where Icarus might be, gave away the sound with all those footsteps, but he has a buddy play set up, a complete crossplay. If Bagel takes a peek out there, it is going to be him finding out that he is getting crossed out from both of the sides. And Sub, he has made himself way to all the way to the spawn to the beach here might as well open the A site. If he is able to find those two kills completely unaware, that would be very, very huge right now. A side has been completely opened up. Only 10 seconds remain on the clock. They gotta get the plan down. Bagel with the plan. Sub is still there. Can he find anybody though? He is holding on, but he's not gonna be able to get anybody yet. Treehead gets an ace in this round. Treehead with the comeback, baby.
And at a very crucial point as well, this start of the second half is going to be the one thing that was going to bring CCG back into this one because, of course, they're going to have a full buy heading into the next round. I would not be surprised if. I actually would be a little bit surprised if Want Goons go for a force here, but not too much because they did get the bomb down, so that's going to be some extra cards for them to work with, and that's exactly what they're going to go for. Have some Galils, have some SMGs to try and throw CCG off their game, but they might anticipate it. Treehen, though, going to invest into pretty much everything that he possibly could have hoped for after that ace. He has a lot of money on his hands to work with, but CCG, this is probably their best chance to make a comeback and get their hands onto a lead because, as you stated earlier, the D side it's a lot more favorable in the current state of CS right now. But we're gonna have to wait and see if the end scoreline will be as well or not. Because Treehan, he's found two. He had the help available from hiking earlier as well. Unfortunately, he does fall, but not before he took two away with him.
Yeah, he took two away with him as the game has been looking completely in favor of CSG. Again, same situation at 4v2, but they only have a Mac 10 and a Deagle on their hands with pretty much little to no utility that can be used. Only a smoke, I would say, that can be used to enter a side. But look at that little bear. He's all by himself. He does not know where Kraken is. Does spot the barrel, but he's not going to be able to do anything as Kraken gets a headshot onto him with that SMG. And now it's only left out to Freaky here, who is in a very, very good position here, out all the way out towards mid as he is entering the B side through Palace here. But it looks like no information on the CT side. They have zero clue where Freaky might be as they are still holding out onto every single angle possible here. Fearless Beetle from Connector. He's checking out the site and everywhere. He's actually going to take the peek and the Freaky. Very bad timing for him as he gets found out. And again, another round secured for the side of CCG as Treehan once again gets the MVP for that round. This man has been his pulling everything for CCG's favor to get everything to make sure that they make the comeback. And now the lead that you were talking about, Inflict, is gonna be there from the side of CCG as they have equalized the score and things are just gonna look better and better from now on.
Hopefully, they remain better, but in this round, at the very least, they certainly are looking better for CCG. The Arsenal pretty terrible on the side of Wanted Goons. They only have pistols to work with, and not a lot of utility this time around either to help them out, as they're gonna
Yeah.
have to try and infiltrate the side just behind a couple of flashes, which both of them have already been utilized. The Tech 9 does connect, unfortunately, not fatal enough. Eventually, it is going to find a frag, but Fearless Beetle gets both of the players that had rushed onto the B side out. It was a sufficient distraction, though, for the bomb to have made its way onto the A side and get planted with ease. But will those three pistols be able to hold off these four rifles?
It is gonna be tough. Tech 9 dealing quite a bit of damage to not only one but two.
Oh,
How do you lose two there, CCG? It's a very, very weird play coming in from them, but here comes Hype King once again. Being the king, he is crowned to a clutch in a 1v3 situation. Takes out all three to get that defuse in the end. And do they have enough time? They do have enough time. Look at him. 1 HP clutch, baby. Proves why he is the king and secures the round for CCG. When everything started to look dark, he came in with the lamp, the prince of CCG at this point, giving them the lead that they needed much, much badly.
yeah, this is the first time they've gotten their hands onto a lead right now. CCG And this is a great time for them to have gotten the lead as well. Now that we're getting closer and closer towards the end of the game here as well, if they can conclude, if they can win this round out right here, the economy once again will be broken on the T side. They're not going to have a buy to work with in the following one, which would technically or theoretically at the very least should result in CCG getting that 10th on board, and they're very close. They can practically taste the victory right now, but they still are not completely out of it. It's still just a one round difference, and and Wanted Goons now they have their hands on to the rifles. They've not been able to win a single round ever since the sides have switched. So Wanted Goons, it seems like they may have just been performing lights out to begin with, but now that CCG has sort of adjusted to their style, they've recognized what the play style is like for Wanted Goons. It seems like they're much more better prepared to take them head on.
Yep. And as we head on to the first round, where we might see a full buy, a full utility, a full everything coming in from the Wanted Goons side, it is gonna be the most important round for them, because if they keep losing the rounds that they are supposed to win, that it is gonna be tougher and tougher. As CT, they have no money on to Icarus here. If they lose out this round, yeah, the other four might be able to get some buys, but Icarus is gonna be the one left out, that one weak point that CT does not want to have. And now terrorists looking towards that mid side, mid control, which is something a bit weird from the CCG side, as they always give up on the mid side. It is very easy to get into, but this time around, even if they give up, they know how to perfectly execute that. A Kobe comes in, taking out Kraken. Hype King is gonna be taken out as well, so the B side is gonna be completely opened up. Now a retake coming in from the side of CCG. A not very hard retake, as they have one person on the mains and two-person entering the side from the hardest point. Freezy is going to be able to take out the trade onto Little Bear. Freezy takes out another one. He has information on where Treehan might be, but Treehan, you got to save out CCG once again. And that is a huge run for CCG, losing all members. But Treehan is going to be the savior of CCG once again. Does have the defuse kit, as well as he is going to be defusing out that bomb. CCG won yet another round, just 4 rounds away from taking the victory in their bag, and a 2 round deficit on their advantage as well. But they have lost a lot of members on their round, so that is gonna be an economical punch that they have to face off in this round.
Yeah, right to the guts that one because at this point they're gonna have to burn through their reserves to be able to invest in this. Fortunately for Wanted Goons, though, they were able to get those 4 frags. They got the bomb down as well, so overall the money's looking pretty good for them to be able to buy back into this one as well. They have such a loss bonus built up as well that if they keep on losing rounds and getting the bomb down, they should theoretically be able to have somewhat a decent buy at the very least if they decide to go for it in every single round. But now CCG, they're only 4 rounds away from concluding the map out as well. Because you lose one more round, that's where things start to become problematic for Wanted Goons. They had a great start in the map. It might even seem like they were about to steamroll CCG, especially in the first half. But ever since the sides have switched, it's a completely different storyline. It's now CCG who have won consecutive rounds at the beginning of the half, and none so far for Wanted Goons.
Exactly, none so far. As we head into this potentially very crucial round for terrorist side, as their reserves looking like 0, 150, 100, 200, and 450, which is not so good. Fearless Beetle, on the other hand, is sitting at 0 himself as well. But Treehan, he has an op on his hand, and we know what Treehan can do with an op. He loves to exploit any kind of mistakes that terrorists are gonna make on that op. This time around, they have not given up the mid side completely, as we see some sort of defense coming in, all rushing in from the connector side. Going to be able to find 2-for-2 trade, a 3v3 retake once again from the CCG side. This time around, they don't have that one-man advantage, so they have to go for a complete full force fight, a complete equal fight, but they do have the op on their hand. If they can find a few frags with that op, that is going to be huge. No utilities available from either of the sides. Only one flash on Treehan. If they want to go for the flash and entry onto the side, they can. The flash comes in. enters the side, but Frizzy and Lil Breer, a perfect team play coming in from them, securing 2 kills. Treehand misses out that one crucial shot that might have won them the round, but finds the no scope there.
Oh,
Never mind, not the no scope, but it finds a headshot. They have the information on where the last person might be, but Treehand would be more interested in saving that up as there is no time left on that round, and Treehand gets away with it up and a very nice economy as well on him. Maybe he can give away one drop to his teammate, but a round, a much needed round for Wanted Goons, secured for their side.
yeah. It But now it's sort of an iffy situation for CCG because they have no money whatsoever. Sure, they have an op to lead the charge here. Last time around, with there was such a case, and on the map, it was for Wanted Goons, and Freaky stepped up big time. He found that 3K, and right now, if you're CCG, you're looking at Freehand, you're hoping that maybe he can deliver something similar. He is going to be quite a proactive rotator here, though, as it seems like they're gonna try and move him around, try and give him as many fights before the players enter onto a side as they can, so that he can find some good value behind that orb. But now that a player has been spotted out, Freehand, he still needs to be safe because that is the most valuable gun, not on just their team, but on the whole map right now.
Very valuable indeed. He needs to find a few frags. The frags could open up eventually the round for CCG. I like this positioning coming in from Fearless Beetle, holding out that entire water area, making sure that nobody's going to penetrate mid. Even if he does, he'll have the information. He is just trying to play for information now. He's gonna be found out here as two of the AKs are actually walking towards him. They see his body, gonna drop some bullets on each other. But Treehand, this kill is very important as he's gonna find a body shot through the wall. Not gonna be enough to take him down. Fearless Beetle, who was out there, is gonna be finally taken out. Treehand still not gonna be able to find anything as he gets shot through the smoke and taken out. And Kraken is the last person alive. Can he save the op? He is super far away from it though, as he cannot, as he has to go through the site to get to there. But he's gonna go all the way rotating in through their spawn to try and pick that up, eventually try and find few frags to hurt the economy from the side of Wanted Goons. But so far they haven't lost a single member, and they still have two more utilities left on their favor. So if Wanted Goons win this round, they are gonna be in a very good position, which they do without losing any single members at all. And now Equalizer is there, and now CCG, the lead that they had in the coming up into this game, are completely shattered, lost. And despite saving that previous round, they still don't have any money to buy in this round whatsoever.
Yeah, and they did sort of force into the last one. Unfortunately, it still did not build up to a good enough weaponry collectively. They tried to rally behind that op, hoping that they could convert around, and unfortunately, it just did not work out. And hence, now they're gonna have to go for a gamble here. All five players over towards the A side. They're gonna get pushed by a couple of AKs here. Freaky gonna light things up. He's found one, but both of the players have fallen. That's gonna go. That's gonna be two rifles in the hands of CCG. So Wanted Goons may have just given them a little bit of a hope themselves right now. But the problem is they will not have any utility except one Molotov that they just picked up to try and help them re-enter the site after the bomb goes down. And Wanton Goons have already hopped onto it, and seems like CCG might just be quite uninterested in even trying to fight that right now. They've only sent Trehan away to maybe try and deal some damage because they're not going to have weapons otherwise anyway. So CCG now practically with their backs against the wall, having conceded the 10th, and the economy is pretty well built up for Wanted Goons. So much so that they're probably not going to have a problem buying into every single round, regardless of whether they win or lose in regulation right now. So right now, all the pressure, it's pretty much on CCG to mount a comeback here. Sure, the scoreline, it's pretty close, but the economical status and everything else is just not in their favor.
That is definitely true. It is not in their favor. Having that two AKs that they secure from the previous round does help it out a lot, because some of the teammates might not get a full buy. not to get a full utility. Actually, matter of fact, a lot of them are lacking on a lot of shields. Looks like a timeout is going to be called upon from the side of Wanted Goons, to know that, hey guys, now CCG, they're gonna come back. All the economical damage that we put on them, they know they have two AKs. They know they have money to buy. Go for a full buy now, and it looks like two of the members still don't have any shield. So that's not going to be a full buy like the way that you want it to, but at least something better than the previous rounds, and something that they can actually hit with when wanted goons try and attack them. At least a weapon to defend themselves with. But the question is, are they going to be able to defend out this round? Because each of the rounds we've seen CCG give away the mid, potentially leading up to a retake, or maybe they're going to let them enter the side and that's where they're going to hit them. Maybe this time around, they're going to actually try and defend that mid area. That is something that we see, as we see Hype King rushing towards that the bridge over there to try and find anybody who's lurking around in the canal area, and he's gonna be able to find one kill right off the bat. Bachel, who wasn't expecting a Kobe, comes in from Icarus, taking out a little beer. Treehand finally gets taken out, traded out, but a quick round coming in from CCG. Again, the timeout did give them time, even though the timeout was called out on the on towards the side of wanted goons, but CCG uses that timeout to make up and come up with their own strategy and play a fast-paced game instead of that retake-based game on from their side, which completely blew off wanted goons as they were not prepared for an aggression like this.
Yeah, that they weren't, and once again, it's gonna be freaky left all by himself with that op in his hand. Does have a little bit of utility to work with, of course, as well, but he likely would prefer to just save this because the bomb is in no man's land right now, and he has no easy access to it either. He's gonna have to run through two players while he's already weakened up down to just 49 HP, I believe. And he is currently walking right in the crosshair of Fearless Beetle, and that's an easy headshot for him to confirm the 10th round. We're still tied up. CCG, probably one of the closer maps that they've had in the league so far, and also this is the debut for Icarus on this roster so far. He's been quite good, quite prominent. 15 frags, 16 deaths. That's the second most, the third most in the lobby, the second most on team, just behind Treehen. So he certainly has an impact. He found a couple of 3K so far as well, so he's had a good showing. But will he be able to conclude his debut out with a win, or is it just going to be another close, a very close loss for CCG?
Yep, that is the question. So far, the way CCG has been playing, constantly changing out their strats to match out to their opponents, I would say CCG there, they have done their homework, they have done their studies in Anubis map, and they are doing way better each time they play. Treehand picking up that off from the last round is going to enable him a lot, and is going to let him play aggressively as he wants to. And now a very spread out play coming in from the side of wanted goons. They want to get information, they want to get the map control, as they have the information that they need. They're gonna try and open up the B side right now, looking towards the connector here. Gonna be getting in, not gonna be able to find anybody. Has finally found out Fearless Beetle, but it's gonna be the burning damage coming in. Little Beer gets taken out through the smoke on top. Gonna be able to find one more, and Sup finds yet another one, and that's a very crucial. Two kills find out, and Treehan, who coming in from behind, is going to be found out as well. That goes the op in their favor, as well as Freaky is going to be able to pick up that op. Never mind, he does have a op on his own as well, so doesn't need to pick that up. And it's all down to Kraken X. Despite looking CCG looking really strong, and despite having four members available to defend that B side, I mean three members inside and one member on immediate flank, they are not able to hold out wanted goons, as they lost to gunfights, as they lost to trades, and that is going to be another round given away, and the lead given away towards wanted goons here on the terrorist side.
And that's the lead given away at a very crucial point as well. As the 11th round on board, one mortal map point achieved, four wanted goons, but and it's going to be sort of a mixed buy here. I believe they should be able to have a good one still, CCG. They have a couple of players who have more than 7K on their hands, so likely should be able to throw some weapons over. They might not be the best ones, of course, but they should be something at the very least. It might just be SMGs. So, and the Treehan, he gets his hands on the op still. They are gonna have to compromise just a little bit on the utility, and one player is gonna have to work with an SMG. But still, it's a pretty decent buy. The problems will arise if they concede this round, though, because then they're gonna have practically nothing to fight for or to fight with in what could be the last round of the game. So this round, pretty much a do or die situation for CCG. They need to be able to convert this, or they might just be done for.
Yes, indeed. As looks like it's gonna be another B execution. B has been working out wonders for wanted goons, and this time around, Fearless Bill is gonna be able to find one in the connector. Goes on to shoot. Little Beer will not be able to get him down, but does inflict quite a bit of damage. And the nade comes in towards Icarus, gonna deal a lot of damage to him as he finally gets taken out with a headshot from Sub here. And now they have planted the bomb. A very good after plant situation for the wanted goon side, as well as they have players a very good positioning as well to defend the bomb out. 2v4 situation. CCG does not have any more utilities left, doesn't have any more answers to go with as Treehan. The last person alive is the Opera here, as he has to get back all the way towards beach. He's gonna be able to find one. He is gonna look for people who's trying to pressure him. He's gonna find two with a no scope. Bagel goes out as he is still alive. But look at this amazing rotation from Little Beer going all the way towards back. But I don't think he's gonna contest that op, knowing that okay, that op is quite deadly. He has taken out two members. If we gave away more kills to him, that is just more economy towards their side. But that op was saved, but no other valuable guns on the side of CCG are gonna be present there. Even if they do forcefully buy themselves some good guns, not gonna be having those Kevlars or helmets in their hands.
Well, this could be the last game of the last round of the game. But Treehan, he certainly wants one more fight, one more battle, one more round. He's fighting for it. That's first blood drawn. A nice attempt at the flag. Unfortunately, will not connect on either side this time, as both the ops will decide to just back away. Kraken, another nice shot, and will get raided out, but he's retained the man advantage for CCG.
He
3
definitely
versus
has.
4.
It is looking like CCG might have a chance of making a comeback into this game. They have given us quite a bit of hope, but still, three members is more than enough to secure to turn the tides around. As we see a 2-2 ratio on onto the CCG side, if they are able to get a good initiation without losing any single members, and they still do have the side advantage on a 3 versus 2 situation here. So if they use that advantage in their favor and get the side, then they might be able to close the round out. As they have the advantage, they rush through the connector. We'll be able to find one. We'll be able to find two. Only loses one member, but are able to equalize the score. Now a 2 versus 2 situation. They do have an op on their hand as well. So an op versus op, a rifle versus rifle does have a utility, a nade available onto that op here on the terrorist side. If they want to use that Nate to get to inflict some damage, finds the first shot onto Icarus, and that just makes 1 versus 2. And CCG looking very impossible. Both misses the shot, as the second shot will not be missed from him, as that op was quite deadly for CCG. As CCG, they are once again very close, but not quite there yet. Once again, in the same map, Anubis map here, as they are gonna lose this map on 13/10 as well. Inflict.
Yeah, it was a nice attempt. They had definitely shown improvement so far. And Icarus, of course, this was his first game live here on our Twitch channel and with CCG's current roster as well. And he had a good showing as well. But
Very
unfortunately,
good.
they just could not close things out. We are going to have to wait and see how they improve, how they move forward, because, of course, there are more games to be played. But unfortunately, another Anubis map that bites the dust. CCG, they seem to be obsessed with playing Anubis, and their opponents, they tend to go there as well. Unfortunately for CCG, they have never been on the winning side. But for today, unfortunately, that is only going to be a loss, and now CCG stand with 2 wins and 5 losses. So their stats are starting to look dangerous, and they might be on the verge of elimination, but they're not completely out just yet. We, in fact, have 2 more games to be played this week. The next one is going to be tomorrow, 9 p.m. EST, and I believe that one is going to be against Amped Esports. So you guys make sure you tune in for that. We're going to have to wait and see if CCG can mount a comeback and win their first game with Icarus on board. But until then, this is it for my side and Zane's. And thank you, Apcon, for producing, of course, today's show. But until tomorrow, 9 p.m. EST, this is going to be goodbye. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good night.